Hi everyone, it's Ryan here and welcome to another episode of Blockchain Markets. And today is really interesting because we're going to talk about blockchain related to a specific industry, to retail. And we're going to talk not only about the theory, but what is a specific team doing in that regard. So the team is Universal Reward Protocol, and I'm here with Louis. The CTO and co-founder. So hi, Luis, and welcome to the show.
Hi, Ryan. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for taking the time. And as we were talking before the interview, I saw presentation of Universal Reward Protocol in one event that happened a couple of months, I think, here in Amsterdam, and that's why I thought it's very interesting to talk about the real world implementations of protocols, specifically in such a big industry like retail. But before we start, maybe if you can give us a bit of an introduction of yourself, and then we just jump into the project.
Okay, so I'm Louis Millon. I come from an engineering background. So I did an engineering school in France. Mostly focused on applied mathematics, optimization, and a bit of software engineering. Then I did my master's degree in UC Berkeley, and straight outside of school, I started in retail tech and entrepreneurship. We started a company with my partner, which focused on basically telling more to retailers about who their customers are and what they're doing inside the stores. And about a year ago, we started to think about how blockchain could really help retailers do that, learn more about their customers. And so that's when we started building the Universal Reward Protocol.
Great. So can you give us in like a short sentence, what is URP?
Yeah, so URP is a blockchain-based infrastructure that lets retailers and brands reward shoppers for any kind of shopping behavior online and offline. So it can be simply visiting a store or purchasing online, posting on social media. All these type of shopping behaviors that are not currently being rewarded or recorded can be rewarded through URP.
Interesting. So maybe you can walk us through like, a use case, for example. Then I saw on your website that you have already a few known French retailers. So maybe you can talk about what you have done with them. You don't have to give a specific names, but like a scenario on how it would be from the consumer point of view, and what's in for them, and then what's in for the retailer, and how does that ecosystem work.
Okay, yeah. So basically in Universal Reward Protocol, the shopper has an app, basically a mobile application that tells them about all the campaigns that are active, and they can choose whether or not to participate to the campaign. So they're in total control over what kind of data they choose to share with the retailer, because for each type of shopping behavior that is going to be rewarded, there's a type of shopping data that needs to be collected to verify the behavior. So that sells gardening equipment, has a huge stores, but outside of the city. So they want to increase the foot traffic in the stores. So what we really want to reward as a shopping behavior is a physical visit to a store for someone who hasn't been there. So they can create a campaign on the protocol rewarding each visit, basically in the store. They put a budget in terms of URP tokens in the campaign, and then they publish it. It becomes a smart contract on the URP sidechain. And from the point of view of the customer, they will see this campaign pop up in the app saying, okay, this retailer wants to reward you €3 if you visit the store. But to verify that you were present in the store, you need to agree to share indoor geolocation data with this retailer so they can know you're there. And so from the shopper's point of view, once they opt in to this campaign, this opt-in is recorded on the blockchain for privacy reasons, and then they have nothing else to do. They just have to display the corresponding behavior. Mm-hmm. An oracle will take care of collecting the data, producing what we call the proof of behavior, and notifying a smart contract, which then releases the tokens. So from the shopper's point of view, basically you browse campaigns, and you decide whether or not you're interested in interacting with this and that retailer or brand, and sharing, and if you're comfortable sharing the corresponding data. If you are, you opt in, and then when you do the behavior, you get your tokens.
Oh, that's really interesting. So then by accepting the campaign and doing those activities, you basically exchanging your data in exchange for that you get the tokens.
Yeah, it's a way for retailers and brands to collect more data about their customers in a more, we think, fair and transparent way. They directly tell the customers what they want to know. And if the shopper is not at ease with sharing this data, they don't share it. If they are, they can monetize it in a way.
No, that's really cool. And so from the other side, the retailer, what do they get? They get the data, I guess.
So what they get first is the increase in the observed behavior that they want. So you can link the behavior that is being encouraged to business KPI. So for example, in my previous example, foot traffic, usually increased foot traffic directly translate into increased top line, right? Which translates into increased profits. So the retailer can really, for example, encourage a behavior that increases their top line or their bottom line, or increases retainments in consumer behavior. And they also collect more data about either customers or prospects, which is really, really hard to do currently. They can collect data about their customers, but it's mostly purchase data, and that's it. Or else they need to go to third parties like Facebook and Google to collect the data. And for prospects, it's almost impossible. Whereas here, they can collect individual and actually properly collected data with the corresponding opt-in about people, and then infer what they want.
Well, I think that's really useful for them. So first, they can attract customers, and then they can also monitor and analyze the data within the store.
Yeah, for example, a use case that we've been thinking about a lot since we've been working with large, mostly physical retailers for the past 4 years. Retailers make like 90% of their revenues offline with the stores, but they know that it's much easier to collect data online, and also more and more of the shopping path is happening online, right? But it's hard for them culturally and technologically to make that switch. And using the protocol, they can encourage their existing offline customers to interact more and more with them online or on social media, for example, to try to balance more their marketing mix.
Yeah, that's really useful, I think, from both sides. They both can benefit. Maybe so something that we haven't discussed is also when people go to the physical stores, do the retailers have to install some kind of hardware to monitor or do they use the mobile devices and with the geolocation? How does that work?
It depends on the oracle that is going to verify the campaign. So we already have developed a system that, based on indoor geolocations and Wi-Fi signals, is able to ascertain that a customer is present inside the store, but only if the retailer installs some small sensors inside the store. So it's actually quite a minimal and cheap installation, but it's still some hardware to install. But there are other companies in the world that are able to do that using cameras or using simply GPS and correctly filtering the simple GPS position of the smartphone. So in URP, basically, it's an open protocol, right? So several different oracles can analyze the same behavior, the same type of behavior. So they can be 5 different oracles for Instagram behavior and 6 different oracles for Facebook behavior, 3 for physical store visits, etc. So using the oracle that we already have developed and that we've already deployed, the retailers need to install some sensors. Yeah, it's more reliable that way.
Cool. And maybe we can also discuss something else that you mentioned, which is the e-commerce side of things also, which is another type of relationship with the brand and with the purchase, with the buying experience. How does it work in e-commerce specifically?
So in e-commerce, people are used to web cookies, right? Tracking their web activity. Except there's usually a mix-up between the third-party and first-party cookies, etc. But here, in this case, let's say that the campaign, instead of trying to increase foot traffic to a physical store, tries to encourage entry into the conversion funnel of a website. So we want people to visit more the TV section of a special online store. And so then the retailer has to basically install a tracker in their website to verify the visits to the TV section. And then either the retailer themselves can act as the oracle to ascertain whether the person has visited the store, or a specialized company. Usually it's more going to be specialized company, because retailers are not really tech companies. They prefer to outsource these kind of things. So a company that knows how to analyze web cookies and web trackers is just going to install a pixel in the online store and then reward people who visited it.
Perfect. Makes sense. Maybe we can also discuss now a bit of the roadmap of where you're now, which I think it's very interesting. And in this particular case is that you guys already have worked with, you have already some traction with big companies. So then that's important to point out as well. But maybe we can discuss from the roadmap for the coming months, quarters, and then what is the big picture for the long term?
Yeah, sure. So I think when we met in Amsterdam, we were still in the redaction phase of our technical white paper. We actually are publishing it this week. We worked through the summer to start the development of the MVP of the protocol. So we already have a solution that analyzes in-store behavior with large retailers in France. What we want is to really have them use the blockchain solution as soon as possible. And that obviously means we have to have a production-ready blockchain prototype as soon as possible. So that's what we're working on right now. We have technical support from Consensus. So there are technical advisors for development of the solution. And they've helped us actually choose parts of the architecture to basically chart a path through the current blockchain ecosystem, find a way to actually produce a decentralized solution as soon as possible, maybe compromising on some elements. We're still deploying our Oracle solution with large retailers, and at the same time we're trying to leverage this relationship that we've developed with them in the past 4 years to have them try out the protocol as soon as it's ready. So currently we're having a token sale to finance the development of the protocol. So the private sale started late June, I think, early July, and it's still ongoing. And we'll have a public sale once the prototype is ready. Basically, we want to show the community what it really looks like and what the user experience is, because it's kind of new. Shoppers don't have this type of interaction with retailers so far. We want to show people exactly what it looks like before we have a public sale. Cool.
So one of the next important things is the token sale. You mentioned that you don't have a specific date yet for the public token sale.
No, we're aiming for end of Q3 or early Q4. It's not decided yet.
Cool.
Depends on the technical roadmap. But if we stay on track, it's probably going to be late October, early November.
Got it. And in terms of team, maybe if you can tell us a bit about your team, how many you are, and a bit of that.
So currently there's 10 people in the team. There's a 6-person full-time with us in Paris, plus 4 half-time working around. That's not counting the technical advisors at Consensus that are helping us develop the solution. We'll also so all the team are mostly technical backgrounds. 2 of them are marketing for token sale, but it's mostly we're really focusing on the development of the product right now. And we've also surrounded ourselves with a team of advisors that can bring us specific expertise from each area we need. So we have a former head of innovation at Auchan, a large grocery retailer, which bring us the point of view of a retailer, and we're discussing with them the most important use cases for a retailer and the cultural shift away from loyalty programs to this type of behavioral rewarding. We also have the head of digital at Nestlé France, and Nestlé is the biggest food company, and so he helps us really analyze the challenges of mass adoption such a product, so really the shopper point of view and how like we should approach that. And we also had a blockchain expert with the head of blockchain at Stratus, Jeremy Bokobza. So we try to go and have advisors that can complete the skills of the team, and we work out of Paris.
Cool. Yeah, I think we have covered like almost everything that I had on paper. I don't know if there's anything else, Louis, that you would like to mention to the community. That's something that I didn't ask for, something that you would like to.
Just that we'll be in Asia in the next couple of months. We'll attend Consensus in Singapore in September, and then we'll be in Korea at the end of September. We'll try to, because basically we've stayed in Europe for the past 3 months. Now we'll try to meet the very intense community that is based in Asia, and yeah, that we're always glad to have feedback from the community about the project. So if people have time, just can read the technical white paper that we'll publish this week and give us feedback about that. Would be great.
Awesome. So where can if somebody wants to know more about Universal Reward Protocol, where can they go?
They can go to our website, so rewardprotocol.com. Our Telegram channel is a good way to start too. And you can also just directly reach out, either me, Louis at rewardprotocol.com, or any member of the team. Perfect.
Well, guys, you heard. If you want to know more about Universal Reward Protocol, just contact them directly, ask the questions, and check the white paper, as Louis said, and the technical white paper is now available on the site. And get to try to like understand more the project and how it works. So if you want to know more about that, that's the best way to go through the website and the white paper. And if you have other questions, of course,
we'll have a demo ready as soon as possible for people to really start playing with the concept of being rewarded for any type of behavior, and we'll give you a praise as soon as it's out.
Perfect. Yeah, just let us know, and then we'll just spread the word as well. So, well, thank you very much, Louis, for your time. And thank you, guys, also for taking the time to listen to this interview with the Universal Reward Protocol. And I'll see you in the next interview. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.